Our next speaker is Sandhya Maheshwari.
Thank you.
Sandhya is a transformational life and business coach, helping you to navigate that gap between where you are right now to where you would love to be. She's been practicing and teaching transformation for over 2 decades. Listen to the voice within and pay attention to the deep knowing. Sandhya.
It's the summer of 1985. I'm peering out the window of the airplane as it approaches the JFK airport. My heart is pounding with exhilaration as I step into the unknown. I'm in America. It took me a couple of weeks to settle into the community I was living in. My eyes were used to looking out the window in Mumbai and seeing the noisy local trains and the flower and vegetable vendors. Now, I wake up to the fog in the mountains. I breathe the clean, fresh air, and I am falling in love with being here. The community I lived in made meals together. And I loved the Americanized Indian cooking, along with the cheesecakes and the cookies and the Italian pastas, even oatmeal. I was here on a 4-month tourist visa, and I longed to learn and understand the American culture, and I soaked it all up. After the first month of being here, making new friends, participating in cooking, being a part of the community, I sensed a shift within. This is where I want to be. I realized I was home. The 4 months came to an end, and as I rode down the hills to the Pittsburgh airport, I heard a voice within me say, "You are coming back." I knew deep within I was coming back. You too may have heard a similar voice telling you something that you know deep within yourself. What is that voice? The wisdom, the knowing. It's like the pull of the ocean tide saying, "Come along." That deep knowing is what carried me through my time back in Mumbai, as I was expected to fit right back into the life I left 4 months ago. But I was no longer the same person who returned. The words I heard, "You are coming back," echoed in my mind. They comforted me. I was ready to move toward the life that was calling me. Back in Mumbai, familiar territory of my parents, everything I have known, I could not stop thinking about my experience in the rolling hills of West Virginia. When I visualized the farmhouse, my breath would catch with excitement. When I'd remember the family meals, my heart would long for the connection. When I'd replay the many things I did, I felt this readiness to do them all over again. From the deep knowing and the voice that I heard that said, "You're coming back," to the daily visualizations of the experiences I had and what I wanted, I altered the trajectory of my life. I returned to the United States in the spring of 1986. Einstein says, everything is energy. That's all there is. Match the frequency of the reality you desire, and you can't help but get that reality. It's not philosophy, it's physics. At 19 years old, I did not know that, and I was consistently thinking and feeling what I wanted and matching the frequency of the reality I desired. Every moment, each one of us has a choice. We can choose to live a life by default, do what others tell you to do, or do what you think others want you to do. You can give in to the status quo, the societal pressures, the programming of the past. You can be constrained by what you've inherited from your parents or teachers or the culture that you're raised in. You have a choice. You can live a life by default, or you can listen to the deep knowing within. Les Brown teaches, imagine you are on your deathbed, and standing around you are the ghosts of the ideas, abilities, talents, dreams, all the gifts that life gave to you. And for whatever reason, you never acted on the idea. You never pursued the dream. We never heard your voice. You never wrote the book. We never saw your leadership. And here they are, standing all around you, staring at you with angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now, we must die with you. The question is, if today is the day you take your last breath, what ideas, abilities, talents, gifts will also die with you? The voice within is a special friend. It beckons your attention. It simply wants you to be true to yourself. Honor the reason why you came to this world. Do the thing that only you can do. There is no one else like you. So why is it that we hear this voice beckoning our attention and we ignore it, or put it on mute, or say we'll do it later? We live in a noisy world. We have so much input coming at us. And we have important things to take care of: our children, our parents, or an aging pet. So how do we interrupt this pattern, this vicious cycle, and pay attention to the voice within? Henry David Thoreau, in his book Walden, says, if one advances confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live a life they are imagining, one passes an invisible boundary and meets with a success unexpected in common hours. All sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. New, more universal laws begin to establish themselves around this person, or the old laws are rearranged in one's favor. Nevertheless, one begins to live with the license of a higher order of being. In 1985, I chose to not live my life by default. I chose to listen to the voice within, to live my dream of being in America. Today, I empower my clients to do just that, to listen, to look, to dream beyond their blocks. You have everything within you to design and experience a life you love. Are you ready to live your dream? I would love to hear more about your dream. Thank you very much.